one of our final year HMB Pro students, and she's just about to qualify in the next few weeks, next month, actually, I think, if that. And we're going to talk about Lisa's journey to how she got to where she is now in a little while. But say hello, Lisa, to our lovely people.
Hello, lovely people. Nice to be here, finally.
Yeah. And Lisa is going to probably be one of the students stroke pros that are going to be taking over from us on maybe one day a week, which we think will probably be a Wednesday going forward. But that's all fluid, as you know. Anyway, we're here, and have you all been taking bets when we're going to turn up? I bet you have. Right, at the top of the show, we have Pia. Hello, Pia. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
there, look, nice to meet Lisa. Vicky's here. Hello, everyone from Australia. Good morning. Hi, Lisa. Now,
hi, Vicky.
Vicky's could be still lying in bed at this moment. It'll be something like 5:15.
That sounds quite nice at this current moment in time.
5:15 in the morning, probably. What time is it, Vicky? And she's like you, Lisa. She gets up very early because you like to get up early, don't you?
Well, I'm not sure like is the right word. More of a have to.
More of a have to because of your lovely Neddies. Yeah. Sarah's here. Hey, everyone. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Angie Medler's here. Hi, Angie. Hello from Virginia. Wow. Heidi's here. I made it. Hey, guys. I've missed so many. Well, you're back. That's okay.
Hi, Heidi.
Catherine's here. Hello, Charlie Brown. Hello. How are you? Good to see you here. Bonnie's here. This is one of our new Clydesdales.
Wow, from sunny Montana. Wow.
Yeah, from sunny Montana. It's sunny up there. Very good. Are you eating lunch, Bonnie? Is that what you're doing right now? Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you're eating for lunch. I want to know. It's important. Melanie's here. Melanie Perrin from Pennsylvania. I've missed these lives so much. I felt like I was having withdrawals. Well, we did a little bit. Lydia's here. Hello, everyone from Super Hot Northeastern Ontario, Canada. Hi, Lydia. Good to see you. Lovely to see you. Martina's here. Martina Istvan. I said that right. Istvan. Is that how we say it? Good evening from a very warm Croatia.
Ooh. Yeah, it appears to be warm everywhere, doesn't it, at the moment, I think?
It is. It's boiling. Absolutely boiling. Aston's here. Happy Thursday, lovely. So Aston's from South Africa.
Aston.
Angela Garberg, hello, dear all, from a hot south of France. Bonsoir, Angela, bonsoir. Dawn Lim, hey there, Hoofies from Wales. So you met Dawn, Lisa, on the workshop. Yes, this weekend.
Oh, lovely. Yes, Dawn. Hello, Dawn.
Janet Welsh is here. Evening all. Absolutely roasting here in Spain too. Yeah. Okay. I saw Tara today. And it was so hot. We were meant to be doing a session together, and it was so hot. Her phone kept overheating, so it kept dying.
Oh, so in the end, she can't do anything when that happens.
It's so hot, so hot. Teresa's here. Hello from Sweden. What's it like up there in northern Sweden, Teresa? We want to know. Is it warm and lovely? Vanya's here. Bonsoir, Vanya. Hello. Jill Truscott, hello from an unusually hot Cornwall.
You mean it's not raining down there?
Makes a change, doesn't it? It makes a change. Carol Colbert's here, morning from Canberra in Australia. Good morning. I should imagine it's quite early for you as well. Dawn's here. Evening all, says Dawn from Cornwall. Oh, Lee's here. I don't know.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee. That was meant to be hello. That should have said. He said, hello, Lee. I don't know if you're still here. You might have disappeared now because we did take quite a long time to get on to the live. Dawn says, looking forward to meeting Lisa. She's here. There. Look. This is because there's still these comments came on before we went live, you see. Tracy Gray's here. You met Tracy, Lisa, at the weekend. Hi, Tracy. And look, Tula from Finland.
Tula. Hello, Tula.
Remember Tula? You met her too. I just posted in the group looking for help. Oh, well, Tula, we might go in there and have a little look-see in a minute. Alison's here. Hi, everyone from a humid East Midlands, UK. Lovely to see you, Alison. Have you sorted out those Google albums yet? Ash has been telling me all about it. Now I'm trying to get. Don't come and ask me. The person to ask is Garry, or even Lisa. Vanya, Asher, not me. I gather there has been a few issues getting onto those Google albums. We'll get it sorted. We'll get it sorted soon. Tina's here. Tina Patchcott. Good to see you, Tina. Caroline Schillig. Hello, everyone. It's great to see you, Lisa, from Portugal.
Thank you, Caroline.
From Portugal. Maggie Thrussell's here from Wales. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Maggie.
Catherine says, hi, Lisa. Oh, look at them all. Look, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Emma Daly's here. Hello, Emma Daly. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Emma's all the way from California. She's Australian, but she's from California. She's a vet. Did you know?
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah. Laura Shillham. Hi from Washington State, says Laura. All the way up there. That's quite a long way up on the western side of I had to do my never eat shredded wheat then in my head quickly. Margaret Porters. Hello, Margaret. Lovely to see you.
Hi,
hello
Margaret.
From Devon. Angela Moore's here. Hello. Good to see you. Toya's here. Oh, everybody's tuning in tonight. This is because it's somebody different. You see, don't tell Garry. You'd get a bit of a complex. Don't tell Garry. It's a girls' night. Oh, I don't know if we can say it's a girls' night. Uta's here. Hello. Laurie's here. Hello from New York. Hello, Laurie. Vivian. Vivian's also a vet, and she's from Germany. She keeps us all in line, Vivian. If we're drifting off, she grabs hold of us. Yeah, she does. She grabs hold of us and goes, "Stop it! Get off onto the group and let's read some posts." That's what Vivian does. She's there sorting us all out. Anne Mitchell's here. Hello from UK. Hello, Anne. Good to see you. Bonnie says my internet cut out. I'm back now. I was just asking what you had for your lunch today, Bonnie. I was just interested. Was it McDonald's? Dawn Lim says, hi, Lisa. I remember you now. What a great workshop.
Oh, thank you.
It was. Christina's here. Oh, no. Is it meant to be Christina? I think it's meant to be Christina. Hello from Florida, USA. Hello. Lovely to see you. Are you new? Are you new? Are you new to us? You need to tell me. I don't know whether you're new. Susan's here. Can you say that? Shumai from Wales. That sounds like Japanese. Doesn't sound Welsh at all.
I'm not great with pronunciations.
And you met Susan, Lisa, at the workshop.
Did I? Crikey. I'm sure. Yes.
Susan told us all yesterday she was 76.
No.
Yes, and there she was, trimming away with her chaps on, looking all trim-alike. It was amazing, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. You were a star. Vivian's here. Hi, ladies. Hello from California. Hello, Vivian. It's lovely to see you.
It's warm over there.
Oh, but it is. I bet it's warm. Trudy Jane. Hi, everyone. Hi, Trudy. Teresa says it's raining here. Oh, I think you're the only place in the world right now, Teresa. It has rain. It's boiling here. It's boiling everywhere, except with you. Unless you're going to have storms, maybe. Jackie Kennedy says, good evening to you both. Lovely to meet you, Lisa, and lovely to see Lindsay unfrozen. That last night I was at Tim's. Honestly, Tim's internet's rubbish. If he's watching, it's rubbish, darling. And I was at Tim's and it froze towards the end, and I was right in mid-flow as well. And then I came back and I said, Garry, I'm back. He went, sorry, I've wrapped up and said good night now. No.
Steal your thunder, he did. Your thunder.
He did. Therese says it's about 15 degrees. Oh, it's not so bad though. It's freezing compared to where we are right now.
I'd be quite happy with 15 degrees currently.
Is it warmer? It's much warmer than that.
It's muggy, yeah. It's really muggy. We need a storm to clear the air. It's just sticky. Sticky.
Vivian says thunder and rain in Germany. Oh, it's spreading. Oh, it's coming our way then. That means it's coming our way. Becky Bragg, evening everyone. Bit late for a quick ride now. It's cooled down. Oh, how lovely. How many other people have been for a quick ride this evening or this afternoon or today? Hey from Sweden, says Jenny Ackerstrom. Hello. Bonnie says, no, not McDonald's today. Jalapeno chicken salad and coleslaw. That sounds incredibly healthy. I'm impressed. Well done. Very impressed. Sandra Rundle. Hello. Sandra, look, Lisa, it's Sandra.
Hello, Sandra.
From Czech. Dawn says, trim my boy with so much more confidence today after the workshop. Ooh.
Yay, well done, Dawn.
Well done.
I need me one of those, I do.
Toya says, please don't rain. My hay's on the ground. No, it won't.
Oh,
It won't have got that far, but it's in Germany. It's come down from Sweden. It's in Germany. It's coming your way. Cornwall, just so that you know. Get it up off the ground as soon as you can. Hi, everyone, says Jackie Berry. Okay, right. So we've quickly whizzed through all of that. Now, come closer to the camera, darling. Come closer to the camera. That's it. So we can all see
having a little bit of water refreshment.
So tell us about Lisa. Tell the world about Lisa. Who are you? What are you? How many horses have you got? I mean, we've only got an hour, so just
Oh my God, I might need longer than that. Who am I? Well, I'm Lisa. I am now an ex-teacher because I left education after teaching children for 26 years.
And when did you leave?
At the end of this academic year.
Oh, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I haven't had a day off, but never mind. And yes, my barefoot journey, which I suppose is what you're really interested in, started, wowzers, quite a long time ago. It started with as many of us, an undiagnosed lameness with my Frisian mare, who at the age of 4, after I backed her, I wouldn't start a horse under saddle till 6 now, I'd like to point that out. I obviously did the whole, well, she's back, we're going out on the roads, we're going to put shoes on it. So that's what I did. And then she was turned away over the winter and she came back into work as a 5-year-old and presented lame behind, but only when you rode her and only when you took a contacting walk. Anyway, to cut a long story short, and lots of misdiagnosis from vets, including the leading veterinary hospital in the United Kingdom at Newmarket, where all the lovely racehorses go. I paid £6,500 to be told it was behavioural lameness.
Okay. Explain that to everybody that's listening. What is behavioural lameness?
Well, you tell me. I don't
Who knows, frankly.
So basically,
£6,500 for that.
I'd had her from a 2-year-old and she's a sweetheart. She's always had an exuberant bronch, shall we say. But she got to the stage where under saddle, you could feel her like getting wound up, and she was threatening to dump me, which was out of character. You know, I've always done my horses myself. I've always done them every day, twice a day. And when you know your horses, you know there's something wrong. So when she was initially x-rayed, because it was her left hind, they found a tiny bone fragment that was pressing on the tendon. They said it was that with a 40% chance of coming sound. So I wasn't happy with that. So I said, well, I want her to go to the best place in the country. How stupid can you be? We'll go to Newmarket. I want a bone scan because I want to make sure it's that. That didn't show on the bone scan. So if I'd have listened to the first vet and had her operated on, she'd have had an unnecessary operation, which would have removed a bone fragment that didn't need to be removed.
That didn't
from
exist.
The tendon, and she'd have been buggered. Anyway, so she went to Newmarket, she was scanned, she was scoped, she was x-rayed from the tip of her head to the tip of her toes, and they found absolutely nothing. So they sent me away with Butte and told me to work her. And they actually said to me, we see it all the time, you rich women.
They didn't say that to you.
Yeah, they said, you rich women, you
I'm
overhaul
a teacher. You went,
yourself.
I'm sorry,
Yeah?
I'm a teacher.
I was just, you know, you're so dumbfounded because people are just rude.
Yeah.
I just got my horse and they were like, do you need any help loading? I was like, because one thing my mare does do is load stoically. So off I marched, did all the ramp one-handed, shoved her on and left. Just cross. I had my time again, then I would have given them a speech. And I was just told to work her, and her behaviour got worse and worse and worse. At this point, I pulled the shoes off.
Did they say anything about the feet?
No, didn't say anything about feet. They just didn't know, so they put it down to behavioural lameness, as if she was choosing to be a madam and choosing to present. It was just a left hind. She was short in walk, but she didn't feel right. Anyway, you know when you just get to the end of your tether and I'm just like, I'm not working this mare because A, she's going to kill me, and B, I know there's something wrong. And my then instructor, obviously I hadn't been having lessons because I'd just given up, said there was a veterinary osteopath who'd been having good results. It's £50 for a consultation. Why don't you give it a go?
£6,500.
Yeah. So off I went to the wonderful Donna Blimman, who within 5 minutes of being there told me exactly what was wrong with her. So basically what had happened, she put a question mark over her ovary. That came a little bit later. But you know, when they take a step underneath from behind, their ilium goes up.
Yep.
And then as they push off, it goes down. Hers was stuck up, which is why she was presenting short. So she did loads of stuff and she improved. And this was heading into winter at this time, and she was fine. And we started rehabbing. I started having lessons with a lady who trained with Dr. Gerd Hirschman. He's your anti-roll cure, modern dressage poo-poo man.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the spring I got on her. She'd just come into season and she presented the same behaviour. So I immediately got off. She went straight back up to Donna. And she had a twisted right ovary. And apparently it's very common in mares because the ovaries sit inside, right, like testicles.
They do, and they
move. They swing about.
Yes.
And it's really easy for them to get twisted. And vets put it down to it's a baggage mare, it's hormonal, and they put it on a supplement, which just controls the symptoms, doesn't get to the root cause. But Donna just sedated her and went in internally and unravelled it. And she's been fine ever since. And she's now 18.
Wow.
But the soft tissue doesn't come up on any scans because she was.
Of course not. Well, the golden scan is obviously an MRI, but
the reason she became quite dangerous to ride.
That's deep.
Yeah. But the reason she became quite dangerous to ride was because she was getting stressed because everything was sore and tight. She developed duodenal ulcers, which you can't scope for. And horses with duodenal ulcers become extremely dangerous. And do you know how we cleared the ulcers up? Green clay.
Green clay.
Yeah. That was it. Green clay. Took her out for a couple of months, and yeah.
Green clay sort of at will, so that she could self-select green clay?
No, because I didn't know about self-selection back then, so she had it added to a feed.
Okay.
But they now have, I do a water buffet, and they always have access to green clay in the water buffet.
That's right, because you've got some nice little neat ways of protecting all of that against the weather as well, haven't you? You've got these tiny little.
So they have like a mineral powder thing in a. It's like one of those old blue water containers, and hubby just cut a big hole and did a lip. But to be honest with you, even if it goes mushy, they still have it when they need it. And they go through stages of having loads, and then they just don't touch it for weeks. Yeah. And then they have the mineral blocks on Malast, obviously, and they just have access to. I have Himalayan salt licks. Yeah. And I also offer loose sea salt. I do question why, because the boys pick the bucket up and chuck it all over the floor. But hey, they like to lick the floor. And then in the water buffet, I found mine. Their go-to is bentonite clay, green clay, and apple cider vinegar with the mother still in it. So it's got all that. Yeah.
The mother.
Everything else I've tried, they've just gone, no.
Interesting.
Turmeric, no. Peppermint, no. Salt, no. What is this you're trying to kill us with? No.
No, I'm not having it.
No, I'm not having that. No.
And then you try, and then you went, oh, you actually like that.
Yeah. But and the two clays, they tend to. I mean, there are 7 of them, and they're quite big containers I've got, and they will empty.
Seven horses, yeah.
Yeah, they'll clear those every day.
And how did we end up going? I mean, just going back a minute to your mare. I mean, that would be enough to send any sane person over the top, wouldn't it? 6.5 grand plus all the other money that you'd spent and no diagnosis. Not really. Don't tell a lady she's a rich woman that can't ride.
Especially when she's a school teacher, so clearly she's a peasant. But
yeah, clearly. Yeah, well, as I know, because I was a teacher too. So there you were. Just think of how many horses didn't have an owner who carried on searching, and they just didn't know what to do, and they just carried on struggling, going through all of those issues until eventually the inevitable happens, doesn't it?
And the sad thing is, the vet I used, first of all, with the bone fragment, I had friends on a yard that I was no longer on, and they'd had issues with their horses, and all 3 of them ended up being operated on, and then all 3 of them ended up being put to sleep. And I can't help but think, It was just unnecessary.
Well, a lot of it is, unfortunately, as we know, as we get more and more exposed to all of this. This is what we find. We've had a few people saying a few things. Sarah says, that's what they said my mare has. Could never figure out, couldn't find anything. Now I know it's seriously uneven feet. Yeah, that's a big problem. Unbalanced feet. Dawn says, so wish I could have chatted to you at the workshop because she has issues with her gelding, which are not quite really specific. Alison says, arrogance of ignorance, very unprofessional and misogynistic. Absolutely. It is.
Well, I mean, the first vet, they said, well, you can come and collect her this evening then. And I arrived there and she was obviously stabled in their yard and I'd had to go after school and it was getting into winter, so it was dark. So as I went into the stables, they went, you're all right, aren't you? She loads fine. And they literally turned all the lights off and walked away. So I was in the pitch black, getting my mare out of a stable and had to load her in the pitch black dark.
What?
Because they completely threw their toys out the pram.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you can be like that.
They behave like spoiled children. They really do. And I know because I've taught for 26 years what a spoiled child presents like.
Absolutely. Tula says, nice diagnosis for yourself too, Rich. I know, right? Oh, Hillary's here. Hello, darling.
Hi, Hillary.
Karen says, is green clay the same as bentonite clay?
No.
I'm just going to shut this door behind me. Hang on a minute. You have a little chat about that.
Yeah, no, it's not. And please don't ask me the differences because I couldn't really tell you, but that they're, for starters, they're a different colour. So obviously they must come from different parts of the world or whatever it is. And each will contain their own nutrients. I mean, I first went down the clay route because, you know, like many of us, our horses start to lick the ground at various times of the year, which they're doing because they're trying to self-select nutrients that are naturally found in the ground. Because obviously all soil contains nutrients and many soils have got a high clay content. So they're obviously, because they're so clever, they know what they need. They're able to self-select. And if you allow them that opportunity, they will take what they need. So, you know, I started off just with bentonite clay and that was a massive success. And then I just thought, ooh, let's try some green clay as well, just to keep Tommy's happy because I know it's good for ulcers. Not that mine have got ulcers, but I just, yeah.
Yeah. It's the clay and the whole minerals side of things is so important because people think that if horses are, and I'm assuming back then the diet that they had back then or that she had wasn't a natural diet.
No, she was on a traditional yard. She was out 24/7 in the summer, and I never fed hay because she was out on grass.
Yeah.
And then in the winter she came in at night and obviously had as much. She always had, because she's not a greedy horse and she was never one to get fat. So I never restricted the hay like others would if their horses got fat.
Yeah.
And she was on a feed, you know, because you'd give them a feed, and she was always on top spec, the balancer, the cube balancer, and she was on alfalfa. But she was, you know, she was 5-6 years of age. So I kind of think when they're young, you get away with it unless they're like EMS, like we do. You know, we could eat crap when we're young, and then later in life is when you start to develop your diabetes and your issues and all the other things. And I think it's the same with horses. I really do. I think you get away with murder when they're young. And it's not until they get older that they start to present with the issues that we just put down to, oh, it's got cushions, it's getting old, it's getting, well, no.
And how many
times, you know yourself, if you put crap in your body long enough, eventually it's
cumulative. That's right. And you just keep wearing away all that oxidative stress, all of those issues. And how many times have we heard, well, they've never had a problem before? I mean, we hear that all the time. I don't understand. They've never had a problem before. But things change. Everything's fluid. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. And no internal terrain is going to stay the same, especially if we keep moving, you know, bag feeds, or try this bag feed, or try that powder.
I also think as well, it's some of it's accepted as the norm. So I was at a yard yesterday, with new clients trimming their horses. They've got 6 in total with a little mini. The mini is lamanitic, so it's on a dry lot that's covered in limestone. It's a massive area with trees, and it's got access to ad lib hay. They'd not been trimmed for 11 weeks. They'd been previously trimmed by an EP. So all I had to do with the little mini, because he's doing a fabulous job of self-trimming, was interestingly remove a little bit of quarter. The others, I had to remove about that much wall all the way around.
Right.
And they're out in grass during the daytime. And they've all got seedy toe. They've all got separation.
Yeah.
They're all a bit footy before I started trimming them. And they've just accepted that that's their norm because they've not got shoes on.
No, that's right. Expecting that's how it is, just because they've not got shoes on. Talking about shoes with your mare, when did you decide to take the shoes off?
Well, she'd always been a bit of a baggage to shoe her hinds. She didn't like the nailing on because she used to be needle shy. So vaccination time, I mean, I don't vaccinate now, but vaccination time, she'd try and kill the vet. Like she'd try and kill the dentist and everybody else, anything medical. She's, you couldn't nerve block her. You just couldn't. So the farrier had come and he says, well, does she need the backs on if you're turning her away? I said, no. And then I just said, well, you might as well just take the lot off. So it wasn't I'm going to go barefoot.
No,
it was just let's just take them off. And she's a Frisian. So, I mean, not that matters. It's not breed specific issue, but she has got an amazing feet anyway. And the transition was, I mean, I got some Renegade Hoof boots just because I felt I should, but she never
needed them.
Never needed them, no.
And then what happened? Then had you by that point started accumulating? At that point,
I'd got my little Molly Moo, who
2.
I've still got. She was the one that had a cute lammy.
Yeah.
Yes, I stupidly thought it would be safe to put her on standing hay.
Yeah.
Don't do that, people. It's not safe.
Not with.
I learnt my lesson.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. And I got her as a foal. And I had my old boy, who I'd had to retire at 12.
Oh, that's right. Of course. Yes.
I'd retired him at 12 because he had arthritis and didn't come sound after having children and
12
injections and all the rest of it. Yeah, but knowing what I know now and how I used to ride, he had kissing spine.
But you know now. But you know now.
God,
and isn't it in a funny
if I knew then what I know now, God. And you can beat yourself up, can't you?
Well, you can, but there's no point. There's no point.
And I say this to clients all the time, because often it can be quite an emotional journey. And I say to them, you do the best that you do at the time with the knowledge that you have.
100%.
And he enjoyed, crikey, he was tried at 12. He had 10 years retirement, living in a herd.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. You can't. I mean, we'll hear it time and time and time again. We hear it from everybody. All our lovely Phoenix warriors. We get so many people going, "I wish I knew what I knew then."
Yeah.
We had it this weekend at Galsworth. With Karen. In fact, it was you, wasn't it, Karen? And it's what happens, people, and then other people, obviously at Galsworth, that have everybody's got their own little story to tell. And everybody goes away from those workshops like you did when you came to Essex. Hence the reason that we're here where we are now. And in that moment when you came to Essex, you didn't know that what was about to open in front of you, all that door, the doors that were about to open were just going to take you on that journey. We're going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I found you, but before that I read everything Jamie Jackson had done because I acquired more horses.
Yes,
like you do.
How many you got now? 7.
7. Yes, soon to be 8, but shh. And shh, it's a secret. Ooh. And well, I had cancer. That's my excuse. I just went mad and went horse shopping. And and I found all Jamie Jackson.
That's another story. That's a whole new story.
Yeah, and I found the Paddock Paradise, and then through that you want to it shifted from wanting to ride, wanting to do this into just wanting a happy herd that had everything that they needed as a species. And I just love having them in my life.
I know.
Not to say I wouldn't like to ride them when I eventually get around to backing the youngsters, but it's secondary now. It's about them.
Yeah.
For me, because they're just a joy to have in your life, aren't they? And it was through that wanting to do better by them and to get it right that, yeah. And wanting to change career and not really knowing and what avenue to go down. And I'd almost filled in the EP course, 3 years on the trot, but that whole section on shoeing and the benefits, I was very much like, no.
The thing is, you can't truly be invested in Barefoot if always at the back of your mind you're being told by people who are meant to know better than you, by instructors, etc., that it's okay. If it doesn't quite work out, well, you've always got that to go back to. Quite and literally, as far as I'm concerned, that's going backwards. That's not going forwards. That's going backwards. If you've got an issue with your horse that we can't fix, then look at your trimming first. That's the first thing. And we know so much about personal preference trimming. So look at your trimming first. Look at the diet and the management. There's nothing that we can't really ever turn around and say, well, let's go backwards then. Let's go back to the shoes. What? Not when you know what you know. If you know what you know, it would make me turn into a gibbering wreck.
And for me, it was just a no. I could never advocate, and I couldn't sit through a course and have to throw the line on that because I just
you couldn't.
I'm too strong in my beliefs, and just no.
Let's have a look what Sarah just said. My mare would disengage going into canter and present lame under saddle. Now looking at her feet, she's propped up on one heel each side. So it would have been like trying to work circles on the wonky stool, as you described it, Lindsay. Be interesting to see how she moves now the trimming has changed. I talk about, being a wonky stool, how things are not balanced. And she says, that's interesting. I'm going to recommend green clay to the client here with a little mare that kicks if you go near her flanks. Interesting. Lisa, could you do could you put up post a link where you get your buffet or whatever buffet additives in the Phoenix group, please? It's a minefield looking for those. Yeah, help them out a little bit. I'm going to sneeze.
Yeah, I use if you just Google, I will attempt to post it. It's White Horse Remedies. I like them because all their packaging is paper.
Yeah,
and it's nearly all organic. So I tend to get rosehip shells because they love those, and I get my green clay from there and marigolds, cleavers. Yep, White Horse Remedies, that's the one. And I also use Horse Herbs UK. That's where I get the bentonite clay from. And whatever else takes my fancy. Sometimes I buy big bags of cleavers and just tip them in the hay boxes. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Because I when I first started tracking, all my hay was in nets because they do waste it if it's loose, but actually loose hay creates the most movement. So now I do a combination. It's predominantly loose, but I have some backup nets so they never run out. But predominantly loose. And sometimes I just sprinkle it with a bit of cleavers. And
whatever seasonal.
Yeah. And sometimes I just go around with a scoop of like milk thistle and go, would anybody like to detox? Anybody?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's not always the ones you think.
No.
It's always recommended for mares because they're so hormonal, because they flush your hormones through your kidneys and everything, don't you? That milk thistle's good for that. But a lot of the boys tend to like it as well.
Dawn says, when I told my vet that I was turning my boy away for the summer, all contact stopped.
Yeah. Funny, isn't it?
My guys love their water buffet here in New Zealand. That's brilliant, Joe. Karen says, well said, Lizzie. We all wish we knew then what we now know. Indeed. But that's okay. It's a journey. I know it's trite, but it is a journey. Yeah. It took me a long time to accept the fact I put Squire on the floor. I never again. Now I found you guys. Slowly I'm changing my horsemanship. That will all come. That will all come through the program as you just. I mean, again, another trite saying. It is enlightenment, but it's not enlightenment as in it's just I didn't know that. Oh, and now I know. And now I know I'm never going to do that again, because that's the purpose of just all of this education. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to educate owners that were like you. Now you're going out there educating owners, Lisa. You're going out and helping people understand. And everybody's got that origin story. Everybody's got that story where you can relate that to people. You're relating it now, and you can relate it to your clients. It's important.
Yeah. And it is hard. And I get some clients, a track system isn't always feasible. And, clients are often doing the best they can with what they've got. But there are changes that people can make, stripping out the back and getting rid of the 403 supplements that you're shoving down their neck.
And checking the hair they've never looked at ever before, and all of those sorts of things. It's just, I teach you guys, you go out and teach other people, and then you learn yourself because you go out and you see all of these, because there's no way that I can show you every single variable situation. There's always going to be something you'll be like, oh, Lindsay's not talked about that before.
And I've had some really interesting chats, because trying to find hay is a minefield, and trying to find it rye free. And then you're guaranteed it's rye free, and then I pull it apart and I find rye in it, and they're like, oh, there are other species that look like rye. And I'm like, I'm not an idiot. Come and I'll show you. I collect it and show. And they're like, and some hay suppliers will they think if it's really late cut, they've had it tested, it's low sugar, so then it's fine. And they just don't get it. They just
no, of course not. But more and more people are getting it. More are getting it. More. I mean, look at the Phoenix group. It's incredible. Did everybody notice? Did everybody notice? It went up to 8.6 today.
I need one of those.
I know, right? It's great, isn't it? This was sent to us by Nova, one of my old clients. She lives up in Scotland now. She's not old particularly. It's just she was one of my old clients, and she sent both me and Garry
one. Big one of those at home when you sit to football matches.
Yeah.
Sheffield when I was a wee girl.
Blow everybody's ears off. Bonnie says it's so interesting that the more I learn on this Hoof Hero journey, the more inclined I am to just want to make my horses live as species specific as possible. Riding and driving them are not as important anymore. No, because you become so very focused on health. Because there's so much pathology out there, you become hyper focused on health and trying to have the best health that you can give your animals.
And it's relationship as well.
Oh yeah, and relationships.
Because I've had all mine from foals, apart from my mare I got as 2. But how they include you in the herd behaviours, and how kind of trust you implicitly, and they interact with you more. It's not that that, oh, I won't be caught because I know I'm coming in to be ridden. There's none of that. It's
it's brilliant, really brilliant.
Yeah.
Toya says, so I have to look over the top, look, Lisa, because I have to stretch up and look over. That's it. Oh, it's gone. I could never do shoes ever. So Toya, Lisa, is Dom's partner.
Oh, hello, lovely Dom.
I could never do shoes again. Also, no, now bits. I can't put a bit in the
bitless here now
ever again. And me too. And I don't feel that ready to go bitless yet, but I am braving it. Oh, it's fine. It's no problem. It's all about the training. Tim's is ready. That's not my Tim. That's her horse Tim. He pursed his lips and teeth closed last time I tried his bit after riding bitless. I was like, mate, okay, never again, and chuck that shit to the side.
Bits are a false economy. Now, my beautiful Frisian, we were out on a hack one day, and this was after we'd gone barefoot and all the rest of it, and she was still bitted. And I was on a special yard. There was us DIYers, down the rough end. And then there was the posh dressage yard with the matchy sets. And one of the girls, because my mare's really good out on a hack, unless we meet farm machinery, and then you might die. But I didn't tell her that bit. And she asked me if I'd babysit her out with her boy, who was a lovely boy. And she was up for a steady canter, and I was like, that's absolutely fine, off we go. So we off we went into the hills, And I said, "Are you okay to have a little trot?" And she was like, "Yes, we'll have a little trot." And then I sort of said, "Are you okay to have a little canter?" She was like, "Yes, let's have a little canter." So off we went. And Frisian, big stride. So to keep it in a steady canter is no mean feat. But we did a nice canter. And then all of a sudden I felt her bum go underneath her and she stepped up a gear. And then there was a loose horse at the side of me, bouncing around. And then it trotted past mare. So we turned around and I made a stand. And it was trotting towards its owner. And I thought, great, she'll catch it. And just as
she was ejected, was she?
Yeah, she was ejected, yes. Because obviously we can do dressage in an arena, but we can't canter out in an open space.
Oh dear God.
Anyway, so as Bo, bless him, he was a gorgeous boy, trotted towards her, he then did a woohoo and just buggered off in full gallop flat out. So what did we do? We followed in full gallop flat out. So she literally bolted after him, and I went across plough fields. I went up and down dale, through woodlands, and I was out of my saddle. My reins were about this short, and I was like, her.
And there was no stopping her.
If you think a bit stops a horse, if they are running, they're running, and there's nothing you can do. So my advice is do your groundwork, go bitless.
It's not about the bit.
It's not about
it really isn't. It's not.
And if anything, if they are spooked and they're high energy, you know, a bit is you control a horse.
It's going to make them freak out more because it's going to cause more pain.
It makes them worse. Yeah.
Go with them. Just go. Come on, then ride them. Just ride them on down.
Obviously, I survived.
The thing is that we go, oh, I'm terrified, and we go like this. The best thing you can do is ride them and then direct them. Right, we're going to ride. You want to go in that direction? Away we go, and let's see if we can ride and turn you.
Well, that's exactly what I did, and luckily he went over the brow of the hill, and she was getting tired, so she stopped halfway up the hill and just went. Because she hacks out brilliant on her own, so she's not bothered about being on her own.
I remember. I have a similar story to that. I was going out with we used to go on HM client rides in Cornwall back in the day. HMers and we'd gone out onto Bodmin Moor, and all was well actually on the way out, except for the fact that I was keeping at the back because we're quite a crowd of us. So I was keeping Oscar back because I wanted to make sure everybody was okay. And I was sort of like doing my sort of teachery bit. I was at the back making sure everybody was safe. And Oscar didn't like that. He said, I don't want to be at the back because he likes to be right at the very front. I'm going, no, we're not going to the front. And we're going along very nicely. And we walked across, we were trotting along, and there was this mare beside him. Now, Oscar's a yellow belly. He's not, he's a lot, he feels a lot puffed out when I'm on him. It's like, yes, I can be stronger with Lindsay with me, my mama, but when I'm on my own, I'm a bit scared. And this mare sort of kind of went, and he scooted to one side and he tripped, and down he went. So he went down onto his front knees and popped himself on the mouth like that. I rolled myself off. I didn't get caught, so I'm rolling off. And I didn't care at this point about me. All I could see was my lovely Spotty sort of scrabbling around on the ground. I thought, oh my God, he's broken his legs. He's broken his legs. He's broken his legs. Oh my God, he's broken his legs. He's broken his legs. And then he jumped up and I'm going, oh, thank God. And I ran over to him and he'd scraped off part of his moustache here, little moustache, and it was hanging off. And I went, well, that's not good. And I grabbed hold of it and went, I ripped it off. It was just a tiny little bit, but it had to come off. So that bled a bit. And then I looked at his knees and he had blood pouring down his legs. He was fine. So I'm like, now what do we do? Now we're quite a long way from home. So I'm walking him along and he's going, I'm not lame. Because he wasn't lame, not lame. And we came to this bit and everyone's like, you all right, Lindsay? Oh my God, you all right? Oh my God, that was awful. You all right? Oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, he's bleeding. I said, yes, he's bleeding. It's all right. So we get to this bridge and there's this big moorland sort of bit where the river is and it's stony. So we go in there and I wash off his legs and all's well. And everybody goes, do you think you'll be able to carry on? I said, well, it's not swelling. It's fine. His lips, I washed his lip off. But of course he didn't have a bit in his mouth because he was bitless. And so on I get, and away we go again. And I think I was bareback on a bareback pad, I think, because that's generally how I used to ride quite a lot of the time because I was like a lunatic. And we got to this tour and we stopped for lunch. Everyone's here. Is Oscar okay? Is Oscar fine? Oscar's fine. Oscar's just fine. Oscar proved he was fine a little later because we'd stopped for lunch. We'd been having lunch for about half an hour and we're all chatting and having a nice time. Horses are all potted around, you know, heads down, eating a bit of the grass. And then all of a sudden there's a, whoo, oh God, oh no. And I turn around and one of the horses is legging it up the tor. She then, and I'm going, oh my God. She then takes a turning and goes around the side of this tor. And everybody's like, ah! And I've got the owner going, ah, what am I going to do? She's legged it. She's gone. So I go, yeehaw! I jump on Oscar and we shoot up the top of the tor so that I could get, and all the other horses and people are all down here going, looking up, going, oh my God. I said, I'll get her. I go all the way up to the top of the tor and I'm followed by a few others who are also brave and are all going, I'll chase Lindsay down and we'll all chase this horse. And we get to the top of the tor and I'm looking around and there's this little speck of a horse going in that direction away from us, just going like the clappers. So I said, Oscar, don't trip, darling, as we go down this tor, but we're going to have to go for it. And so down the tor, over all the bricks, over all the rocks, down we went, turned to the bottom and yeehaw! And I'm riding it. And he's going, I really don't want to do this particularly. I don't want to go this fast. I'm going, you've got to go faster, Oscar. We catch up with the mare and we're running alongside her now. And I said, right, okay, let's just come down to the trot. So she's like, oh, I can stop now, down to the trot, down to the walk. And we ended up back near where we were in the water pool. So I jumped off, got the mare, and finally, you know, a few cowboys turned up behind me going, yeehaw, that was a great run. And we got the owner back, who turned up in a little car. And then on she got onto her horse and all was well. But it was very exciting. But I put him in the box that night to bring him home in the trailer. And I thought everything was fine. And when we got back, I opened the trailer door and he looked like he was stood in a blood path. He'd been leaking out of his knees and there was blood everywhere. And I thought, that's it. I've killed my horse. I've killed my horse. I've killed him. I should have listened to him. He fell over and hurt his knees. And now I've ridden him really hard and I've killed him. I hadn't killed him. He didn't even care. He got out of the trailer and he's like, just get off me. I just want to go into the herd again. Just get off. And into the herd he went. And from then on, he's had these tiny little lines across his knees where he scuffed his knees like a child. Scuffed his knees. And he had a tiny little scar on his lip. Dear Oscar. It's just totally fine. He was totally fine. He was fine. And you know your horse, don't you? You know your horse. Even though he'd fall over and scuffed his knees, that's all he'd done really, is just scuff his knees. But yes, I'll never forget that ride. So chasing animals down and
yeah. Proper Western style.
It is proper Western style. It's very exciting. I don't know how we got onto that. I think
Sarah asked a question about bitless bridles and being scared that they might hurt their nose. Somewhere up here. Yes. Can you cause damage trying bitless?
Where's that? Oh my God, there are so many. Where is that?
I would say with bitless bridles, it's like any bridle in the wrong hands. Anything can become harsh. I'm a big fan, not wanting to name drop, but I'm a big fan of the Transcend bitless bridles. They do a side cue, which just looks like a leather noseband, and they're not designed to fit tight, and they've got little rings, and you're not designed to ride. You know, this whole taking a contact and wedging your horse's head on the vertical. As soon as your horse is ridden on the vertical, you're closing that TMJ. Yeah. Once you close the TMJ, it blocks the shoulder, and then they can't come through properly from behind, which is why we've got so much kissing spine. They should be ridden slightly in front of the vertical. Don't get me started on the Olympics.
Did you see? Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, I've seen it. Oh.
And in the show, I've seen pictures of warming up in the show jumping.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. And let's talk about that. My favourite is a light rider. That's my favourite bitless bridle, which is also a cycle.
Tried those. Yeah,
light rider. They come from Australia, and they're quite nice looking. You can get I've got kind of a rope version as well, which is quite nice. And side pulls are really good, but truly, if you're going to go bitless, you should really just get a rope halter and work from that first. And you're getting the light touch from the ground. Don't ever try and jump on their back and try and get it to just happen. You need to get that light touch and that, so that they just respond. They just get that touch. And then when you get on them, and then you just slowly work yourself up, and then you can go to a side pull.
But they respond so well to your weight shift, don't they? I mean, they will turn with your weight, and they will back up with your weight. And
of course, that's what it's all about, that you need to tune in. Everybody has to tune in. Tune in. So let's have a more look at these posts. Oh, Tara just says, hello, my lovers. Hello.
Hello.
It's Tara. Tara from Spain. You met Tara this weekend.
I did.
I'm the same, Bonnie. I haven't ridden mine this summer yet. Been too busy doing track stuff and haven't felt guilty like I usually do. Just enjoying them being relaxed. Don't feel guilty.
No. They don't care. They don't think, why isn't mummy riding me? They just absolutely don't care. And no horse is being wasted.
That's
being
right.
allowed to be a horse. I hear that all the time. It makes me so cross. So it's
it makes me cross.
I need to find a new home.
It's not being wasted. And they want work. They want more. No, they don't. Honestly, every single horse that I've ever met, you stick them in a herd, they're like, "What? Don't you coming towards me? I know I'm going somewhere else today. La 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 la. Oh God, all right then, let's go out. They go to the lowest energy level possible if they are allowed. It's entropy, isn't it, when you go to the, and if they're allowed to do so. All this business about, oh, my horses need work, they need work. No, what they need is to be healthy, sound, chilled, and then you get the absolute best out of your horses. 100% you get the best out of your horses if you keep them in and this is why people are here, right? Lots of people are here. You want to ride, you want to do all sorts of things. If you want to get the best out of your relationships, whether it be riding, groundwork, just hanging out, chilling out, you've got to keep them this way, because they are just the best buddies to be around when you keep them like that.
Their natural behaviours, I'm amazed at how their behaviours towards each other, towards me, has changed being on a track. You could just spend all day just watching them and how they interact with one another, and how they're dominant at different times over different things, and who moves who away from what and when. There's no real rhyme or reason to it.
No,
I've got a definite lead mare.
Yes, but then after that, it's a web.
But the most interesting thing is my little 11-2. She's not my lead mare, but she dictates the movement. So when she goes off down the track, they all follow in a long line. When she goes off to drink, they all follow in a long line. And if they want to go for a drink and she won't go, they herd her and they push her from behind and make her go first. What's that all about? It's like, no, you have to go first and get eaten. We don't care about you. It's like that. Go on, little one. Sacrifice yourself.
Sacrifice a little. But she's probably the one that's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
she is.
Yellow
She's
bellies.
the one that I can't arrive in secret because she screams hell, bloody hell. She's like, Mummy's here! And then
we're so enjoying ourselves this evening. It's great. Tara says, Lisa, you're made for TV. Look at that.
Thank you so much.
Julie says, this is my world. Bitless or bridleless is where it's at for the ultimate in control. Horses control themselves, and humans need to learn to do likewise. Absolutely. That's so true. Joe Kirk, even just neck rope and clicker training, always great way to help breath work. No bits for 20 years. Happy track, barefoot ponies. We love it. Awesome. Tracy Kirk. Amazing. Jenny Ackerstrom says, same here. No more iron shoes. Don't use bits. And now looking at TCS saddle. Total contact saddle. That will be. Yeah. Brilliant. Awesome. See, it just kind of evolves. And you can see, I know, right? I so know how we get viewed. And I so know that from over there, when they're looking at us over here doing all the stuff that they daren't do over there, that they go, they're just a bit different to everybody else. But truly, when we do the things that we do with our horses and we look over there and we go, okay, then, right, let's see you do that then. They're like, Well, don't make me do that because I can't do that. I'm like, I can do all sorts of things with my horses, all sorts of things. Toya says total contact for me too, and Julie says she uses a total. I find that is the total contact. Yeah, less is more, and even less is even more when it comes to horses, in my honest opinion. Jenny says, so happy to hear that more of you use TCS, total contact saddle. I've just ordered one, so looking forward to try it out. I don't know who's that. I think Bethan's just bought one for her pony for Rupert, I think.
Yeah, there was one at Goresworth. I saw it.
Yeah, I bought.
I haven't tried one, if I'm honest.
I just bareback pad.
I've got a Chrysler bareback pad.
I have a very expensive balanced saddle, which is lovely, but rarely got used as much as my best friend bareback pad. My best friend. It's what it's called. They're called best friend bareback pads. No stirrups or anything. Of course, the TCS is stirrups, but mine didn't because I got funny sort of legs and stuff and knees. Wouldn't use any of the saddle ever again. Brilliant. Look at that. Yes, Lisa. I ride in a Transcend. Great show, by the way. It's the Lindsay and Lisa show. Don't tell Garry.
I have to get T-shirts made.
We'll have to get, and then secretly we'll just say, "Oh, Garry, you've got to go down the pub, or you've got to go and do something. You've got to go and do." It's okay. We'll be fine on our own. Don't you worry about us. Dawn says, my Oscar has become so much more interactive with me since I haven't been riding him. That's lovely to hear because I know that there were issues with you there and you were worried about that. So that is absolutely amazing. Catherine said, I stopped riding my horses in 2010 and get to live like horses. I had to leave the awfulness of the horse world. I know. It's tough. That's awesome. Heidi says, I loved this live. Thank you. I've heard a lot of things I needed to hear. Oh, you're welcome. Tina says, I feel like I've got a famous trimmer seeing Lisa on here.
I'll sign autographs next time I'm there, my love.
Yeah, that's right. Selfies and autographs. Aston, lovely Aston. The timing of this live is so interesting. You have to look over the top, look, Lisa, over the top. That's it. The timing of this live, you have to go like that. Look. Oh, I can't do it. Yeah. There we go. The timing of this live is so interesting. I've recently decided that when my girl is sound, I'm moving into bitless and liberty work and getting to point of riding with neck strap. All right now. These are the things I would have been terrified about before, but have naturally started to feature now that I've changed my thinking so much. Thank you. You are going to love that. Oh, look. It's Nova. Look, Nova. Nova sent these.
I
ride Dougie in a
We need more of those, Nova. We need more of them.
Well, Nova actually sent one, but it went to the wrong address down the road to Laura's because she sent them to Laura's. So she sent another one, worried that one didn't get through. And then we got the other one. So Garry and I have got one each. There we go. Thank you, darling. So big up for the total contact saddle. Everybody seems to love that. And big up for bitless. That's wonderful. So just groundwork is what I would say to you. This has become kind of a horsemanship lesson. This session is really groundwork is the most important thing that you have to do. Groundwork. So yeah, that's very, very important. Well, Tula, Tula says, Aston, do you have a lot of laminitis in South Africa? It's everywhere, my darling. Right, what have we got? It's 59 minutes, and we are going to very quickly look at Tula's post because otherwise I won't be able to sleep tonight because Tula is worried about something. And lovely Tula, we've got to go and find her. Where? Can't see it, Tula. Did you post it like very recently? Let me get, if there's anybody here, is Tanya still here, as in one of our admins is still here? Let me know. Let me just go back on StreamYard. Oh, hello. It's doing weird things.
Yeah, I've just, it's on there.
Is it? Let me get help in the live. All right, here we go. Look, you can show me where. Let me just put
pictures of lots of stretch and a boot with the toe cut out.
Right, so if I go down, no. Oh, Melanie. Oh, here we go. Yep, I got it. I got it, girl. Let's go take a look. So let's just blow that up a little bit. Oh, hello, back. Get away. Let's just blow it up a little bit. There we go. Can you see that better? Probably. That's okay, because I have to keep coming back to have a look. Okay, I hope I could get help in the live. Can you help Lindsay Setchell and Garry Hinton? This horse's owner has asked for help from me. I did wonder if this was you or not, so I didn't think it was you. She is in this group, but not so confident in discussing this in English. Okay. Photos, are you going to have to you're going to have to translate this to her, I guess. Photos are from yesterday. X-ray is 1 year old. Horses on a hay diet, only mineral supplement. They have 20 barefoot horses, but this is the one with problems and event lines. One hoof with rotation, problems going on for years. Phoenix Way is the last chance for him. Farriers and a barefoot trimmer can't help. They have trimmed the horse themselves, moves okay with the boots on. My questions: can the hoof wall go straight anymore with damaged P3? Let's have a look in a minute. Coronary band almost horizontal. Can heels be lowered if it means less surface area to stand on? Not possible to balance to the toe. No, because it's not there anymore. Will the old abscess burst, crack, and cause more damage? They are on both sides. If the toe never grows back, can it be chopped without causing further damage? Owner is worried about taking the horse to the vet clinic for x-rays with that toe. So x-rays are a year old. Thank you if you can help. Right. Now they are a year old, so we don't know what we're going to see. Ooh. So clearly what we've got here is we've got one foot that seems okay and the other foot that's going off to willy-nilly land because it's will have been subjected to incorrect trimming on one side particularly, and so we've got it in a boot. We've cut out the front and we're trying to support in the boot. Okay, can't really see anything there. So now we've got this and you can jump in at any time, Lisa. All right, just that's what I always say to Garry, and he just tends to listen. He does jump in though. So what have we got going on here? We've got bars are an issue. It's going to be interesting to see what's going on in the x-ray. The sole doesn't look too unhealthy, I have to say. But of course, we've got this massive wedge that's just not
toes missing, isn't it?
Yeah. So we can only trim. Look, you can actually see where from this quarter all the way across that basically where the apex of the frog is. You can't trim further forward than that. And the reason you can't do that is because we risk over thinning this area. That's very, very important that we get these bars down and we get those heels.
That could come down a lot more, couldn't it?
Yeah. I'm reckoning, Lisa, you probably think the same. If you could investigate this area here, and all of this will just start to exfoliate because you've got a lot of chunky bar there and a lot of accreted bar material going forward.
And it'll be all chalky where you just pointed out as well, won't it?
Yeah. Looks like they did try to. Oh, hello. Looks like they did try to.
It's almost like they've tried to trim to the top of the bar, if that makes sense, as if the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've left the bar alone. So obviously the bar needs trimming. You can't, because that bar, if you were to look at that from side to side, and I've no idea what the pictures are going to look like because I haven't looked, from the side view, the lateral view, you'd see that there's possibility that these bars are in play now because it looks like these walls have been beveled out, including the heel. So the trim's not right, Tula. The trim needs to be better. We've had lots of issues going on in the frog here. You can see that this side.
That looks like an abscess that's come out, doesn't it? There.
It does. It could be that. This side here, we are pretty much down to the hard sole plane, but everything is beveling away. Not easy to see, but this side, of course, is not the same. So that makes me wonder about mediolateral balance. You can't see any wall. Can everybody see that? There's no wall there, so you're not got anything to balance to. So it looks to me balance is going to be an issue here. Okay. Right, so this was a year ago, and we don't know what's been happening with this horse since then. What I can tell you is that what we have here is we have some osteonecrosis. We've got some remodeling. Can you see that double tip?
Yeah.
that tells you that you have, and I don't know if we've got any DPs, this is a lateromedial. That tells us that we have definitely got a notch. And because we have some remodeling, it's likely that we have quite a bit of degeneration going forward if we were to look at that from a DP. Unfortunately, this foot has been subjected to incorrect trimming. What they've been trying to do here, there's just not enough foot. It drives me mad that all this is being chopped off because it's separating, but the reason it's separating is because the heels are too high. So the more that the heels are not attended to particularly, and as you can see, even though we are a bit further down the line, they still haven't been properly attended to. But back then they weren't being attended to. They leave that and then they go hell for leather on the toe, shortening. It's just not enough foot. So all of this separation caused by the fact that the heels are getting higher is going to keep distorting this, which will make them, it's like this constant merry-go-round. The more they see separation that's being caused from over here, that you can see here, the more you take the toe off. The more you take the toe off, the more this goes up, because the growth rate slows down, and then this continues and they don't keep on top of it. The more there's separation, the more there's separation, the more they take the toe off, because they're so worried that that's what's causing the separation. And it would have been so easy to fix it had we gone in on the heels and left the toe alone. Now,
constantly chasing the HPA, aren't they?
Yeah, so constantly trying to get this in line, because anything ugly out here is ugly, and also because they're believing that what you've got here is that the reason this is happening is because of the toe, without them understanding that it's actually all to do with the back of the foot. What we look like is we're starting to get a bit of an enthesophyte there, or could potentially be heading towards ring bone, but I wouldn't like to bet that at this point. We've got a little bit of shadowing on the extensor process, but I don't think that is anything particularly to write home about, because there's been a little bit of shadowing here. We do look like we have an enthesophyte up here. So an enthesophyte, do you remember what that is, Lisa? Should I put you on the spot?
No, don't.
Okay. So that's when you have soft tissues, tendons, ligaments.
Calcification, isn't it?
That's right. And the area where that attaches to the bone gets under an enormous amount of strain and stress. And then the body goes into an inflammatory response, and it starts to turn that end of that soft tissue into bone. Which and then you can always see that through the direction of the pull. And that's the direction of the pull. So that's what looks like we've got going on there. You can't really see an awful lot going on with the navicular bone, although up here might be interesting, the dorsoproximal side of that. So that was a year ago. And if this foot has been treated in this same manner, basically scalping the foot, not giving this horse enough hoof capsule, then unfortunately it is quite possible that we have a lot more osteonecrosis, because they've not taken her off the tip. I don't know, Tula, did you say that the horse is still lame? Yeah, so here we have that, and we've still got, the first thing you need to do is chop away all of this hair so that you can see the coronary band better. And I would encourage everybody that's in this situation to just get some scissors and just cut this away so you can properly see that coronary band, because this coronary band is again, it's gone back to being not horizontal, but getting that way. It's definitely not in the position that it should be. You can see these abscesses, constant abscessing. That's also to do with what's going on at the quarters, what's going on in the bars. This foot is in distress. This is a foot in distress. It's been trying to grow in a better angle here, which is good. That is good news. But but we do look like we have had, and you can see here, can't you, with you've got diverging rings, so all bunching up here and then being wider here, because this is just slowed right down. Doesn't know what it's doing.
It's not getting any feedback, is it?
No. And that's what we get underneath. So Penny says, in this case, the bars and frog quarters are still causing a problem. Indeed.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's another shot. Yeah. Abscess is this side as well. Or was that the same foot? It's just, no, that's the inside of it.
And the fact they come out the back of the foot, they could be bar related as well, couldn't they?
Very much so. Very much so. And don't, yeah. The truth, my honest opinion is, if we have carried on having this kind, because there's just not enough foot down here, right? There's not enough foot. The heels need to come back more. We know that because we've seen it on the photos. The heels need to come back more. You've got to get rid of those bars, because that's causing big problems. Because there's not been enough foot here, because they've been continually taking away the toe. And when I say they, I don't obviously necessarily mean, of course, the owners. I mean the professionals. That means that this, and just treating both feet differently, that foot looks like it's probably got quite a bit of heel to come down as well.
Yeah.
I can't tell you whether the long toe is going to go away, Tula, unfortunately, because the one thing that you do need to do is have an x-ray. If you wait and wait and wait, it could be that what's going to happen is this is just going to go up to the moon and back and never get down to the ground. However, you do have some better growth here. So it depends. It depends. That we already a year ago had remodeling, so yeah. And it's a shame. And this is like when people say he only got laminitis in one foot.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I said, you may not, I'm sure I've said this to you before, and I definitely said it to the crowd, that if we did some data on the left fore and the right fore, and which one comes up most lame with most problems, it's nearly always the left fore. Of course, the right fore has issues, and many owners have horses with the right fore having issues, but generally it's the left fore. And we've got issues with the trimming back here too, and definitely a problem with the diet.
Yeah, continual rings, isn't there?
Yeah. So yeah, it's not looking too bright. We need to, that's not looking too bad. You're a bit high here. That's a better shot, in fact, than the one we had before, because that didn't look so good. This isn't looking so bad, but there's more to come. And you can see here where we've had infection in here, and this isn't quite level. You're a bit mediolaterally. So Tula, what can I say? Going back to can the hoof wall go straight anymore with a damaged P3? If P3 is any more damaged than it is, then the chances of that hoof growing straight are very slim. Coronary band, well, they won't, because it just doesn't have the rest of the P3 there in order for it to grow depth and the rest of the hoof wall, and it will just lose it's lost its guide, you see. Coronary band almost horizontal. Can the heels be lowered? Yes. And it will give the horse more surface area to stand on. Will the old abscess burst, crack, and cause more damage? Well, yeah. I mean, when it gets down to the ground, it cracks, but by then it's not that relevant, really. So don't worry too much.
They just grow out with trims, don't they, really?
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry too much about that. If the toe never grows back, can it be chopped without causing further damage? Owner is worried about taking the horse to the vet clinic for x-rays with that toe. Thank you. Yeah, well, we will only know, really, given a few more months down the line, to see if that new growth is going to hit the ground, because it might, depending on what's going on inside that hoof. So you've got choices. You can get everything as good as you can. Let's just stop sharing. Everything as good as you can, all the diet, the management, the trim right spot on, support the horse while you're going through this entire process. Make sure all 4 feet are good, no grass, get the diet and management right, and then another 4 months you will know, 4 or 5 months you will know what's happening with that toe wall. If you still got, then you really need to get an x-ray, because that's telling you things are not sweet in there. So
yeah, I've got a client who her x-rays were a year ago and there was slight osteonecrosis, and we have finally got toe wall on the ground, and he wasn't coming right. And I think because he's been so laminitic for so long, he's just so sensitive. And she's got the most amazing little track for her 2 minutes. It's fully surfaced. It's an amazing little setup. They can't get any grass whatsoever. But I think he was just so sensitive that the slightest change in hay. And when he had another setback, we went x-rays, and she was really worried because she thought he was going to be put to sleep. But remarkably, the osteonecrosis hadn't got any worse.
Amazing.
Yeah. And he's now got, I mean, he's got really funky feet, but we've got toe wall on the ground. And it'd be interesting as we go through the trims whether he will always have a bit of a woohoo.
Yeah, just a little bit of a kick.
But I mean, she doesn't care as long as he's sound, which he is now. And you know, she messaged me a few weeks ago, and she was in bits because he'd cantered for the first time in like 4 years.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Little
it's amazing. It's all about health of P3. It's all about building foot towards the front of the foot. We hear a lot on the internet about building the back of the foot. In my experience, once you get the horses, in the experience of all of us, once you get, unless we have complete caudal failure with a terribly weak foot, then that's, you're not just building back of the foot, you're building the whole foot. That's what you're trying to do. But in general, the back of the foot will look after itself if you keep that, if you keep everything down to where it needs to be, sort out, keep it down to the HSB, sort out those bars. It's the front of the foot that hasn't got enough foot. It's just not got enough depth there. It's been taken away so much for so long. That's our problem, is getting enough foot at the front. So Tula says, I can't thank you enough, Lindsay. I will discuss this with the owner. Brilliant, Tula. Awesome. And I hope you had a good flight home as well. Like we talked about last week, we cannot take away anything without affecting the whole system in some way, even if the toe is not in contact with the ground. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Hasn't this been a really interesting live? Haven't we enjoyed having Lisa with us? It's been lovely.
I've enjoyed being here.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I have enjoyed it. It's been good fun.
It is. It's good. It is good. And yeah, that's like Garry. Every time Garry goes away now. I think now Lisa's had a little bit of a thrown in at the deep end. It might be that we can possibly bring in some more students, and you could have a go at having a student evening. How would you feel about that?
I'm fine with that, if everybody wants that. And I don't know how it would work, whether we would post that day and ask for questions that we can go through and answer them, or whether we want to just fly by the seat of our pants and let the questions come in.
However you feel. Maybe just fly by the seat of your pants and see how it goes. And I'll be hovering in the background, just in case. I won't have a night off that night. Yeah. Just in case. I will be there.
I'll have to rally the troops and see who's brave enough to join me.
Brilliant, says Karen. Amazing. Thank you, ladies. Trudy says, thank you, Lisa and Lindsay. Fantastic live. Well done, Lisa, says Hillary. Whoop.
Thank you, Hillary.
Lovely evening. Thanks, ladies, says Vanya. You'll be on here soon, lover. Bonnie says, wonderful live. So nice to meet Lisa. There you go. Thanks, ladies. Yes, Lisa, come again.
Yes, I will.
Oh, Bethan says, yes, would love that. All your students are lovely. Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you,
thanks.
Bethan.
Thank you. It's been amazing. Thank you, says Tracer. Uti says, thank you and good night. Tula says, awesome live. Nice to hear your story, Lisa. Heidi says, loved it. Thank you. Night, night, guys. Bethan says, defo, best just to wing it. Going raw.
That sounds almost wrong. Going raw.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And she says, look, thank you. Look forward to the student lives. Yes, see, they just want to get rid of us. They just add enough. They want to. Thanks and good night.
Faces.
Yeah. Lisa is amazing, says Tara.
Oh, bless
Wonderful
you, Tara.
live. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look, you got roses. That's nice. Christina says thank you. Vicky Ware says thank you both. Wonderful. Great job, Lisa. Thank you. She did good. She did good standing in, didn't she, Garry? She did good. Brilliant. Thank you for another great live. Great evening. Brilliant. And it just keeps coming in. Thank you. It's been lovely. All right, my lovelies. We're going to go. You stay where you are, Lisa. We're gonna say good night, and I'll see you tomorrow night. And it might be me and Lisa again tomorrow night. We don't know, because I don't think Garry's here tomorrow night either. So see you then. Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.
Toodaloo.